The village was called Padmanagar. Nestled by the river Padma, surrounded by endless fields and green groves, it looked like a picture of peace. But behind that peaceful facade lay a tale of blood, betrayal, and revenge. Abir was a hard-working young man from the village. His father was a small farmer. The family didn't have much wealth, but they had dignity and happiness. Abir lived with his parents and his only sister, Maya. Life was simple until the day everything shattered. Rasel, the arrogant son of the local landlord, ruled over the village with fear. Land grabbing, extortion, harassing women, these were his daily habits. No one dared to oppose him. One day, Rasel harassed Maya on her way home from college. Abir confronted him publicly, and for the first time someone stood up to Rasel. Humiliated, Rasel swore to make Abir pay. That very night, Rasel and his gang ambushed Abir on his way home from the fields. They beat him mercilessly. Finally, Rasel stabbed him, leaving him to die by the roadside. Villagers were too afraid to intervene. Though Abir survived after days of struggle, his father died that same night from the shock and grief. Lying on his bed, bandaged and broken, Abir made a silent vow. "I will not rest until Rasel pays for every drop of blood, every tear he caused my family." The rise took Abir 3 long months to recover. But during that time, a fire burned inside him. He realized one truth: justice cannot be achieved without strength. He began training relentlessly. Every dawn, he ran along the riverbank, lifted heavy stones, practiced stick fighting, and learned martial arts from Kareem Master, a retired village wrestler. His body grew stronger, but his spirit became like steel. At the same time, Abir started winning back the villagers' trust. He realized Rasel's tyranny had touched everyone, not just his family. If he wanted revenge, he had to break Rasel's power completely. Striking the roots. Rasel's biggest strength was his gang. Abir's first move was to weaken it. One by one he started targeting them. Some he frightened, some he fought, and some he persuaded to switch sides. Slowly, Rasel's circle began to crumble. One night, Abir cornered Rasel's right-hand man, Samir, at the riverbank. With a single strike, he overpowered him and forced him to confess all of Rasel's crimes. Terrified, Samir fled the village. With Samir gone, Rasel's hold weakened further. The once invincible Rasel now felt cornered. The final confrontation. Realizing Abir had become a threat, Rasel decided to end things once and for all. He challenged Abir to face him directly. It was a moonless night at the old banyan tree. The villagers gathered at a distance, whispering, trembling, waiting. Rasel came armed with a sharp machete, while Abir carried only a wooden staff. The fight began violently. Rasel swung the blade furiously, but Abir moved with the speed of the wind. Every strike of the staff echoed Abir's pain, his father's death, his sister's tears, his mother's cries. The two clashed, blow after blow, until Rasel fell to his knees. In desperation, he pulled out a hidden dagger and lunged again. But Abir caught his arm, twisted it, and sent the blade clattering to the ground. Grabbing Rasel by the collar, Abir glared into his eyes and growled, "I could kill you right now, but death would be too easy for you. I'll leave you alive, so you live every day with your shame, your fear, your defeat." With one final crushing strike, Abir left him wounded and handed him over to the villagers. For the first time the people found courage. Together they dragged Rasel to the police. New dawn. With Rasel gone, Padmanagar found peace again. Fields flourished, children played freely, and women walked without fear. Abir didn't stop there. He gathered the youth of the village to focus on education, farming, and rebuilding their future. One evening, as the sun set over the river, Maya looked at her brother with tears of pride. "Brother," she whispered, "you didn't just take revenge. You freed an entire village." Abir smiled faintly and replied, "Revenge is not only about destroying an enemy. True revenge is ending injustice at its roots." From that day on, the villagers called him by a new name. Abir, the warrior of justice.